Hey guys, it's day two, um, and just to get right into it, just to repeat, um, what this whole series is for is, I'm working on my goals. Um, really want to make it happen this year, um, and I have three goals. One is, uh, fitness related. Second is regarding a company I have with my sister, and then the third is my own goal of you know building my own company by you know building new things, getting back to that. So eventually, I can uh, you know spend all of my time building things to help people and myself. So, the overall plan is very simple. And I think that's all it needs to be is to just take one step for each of those goals, right? So I've outlined a bare bones plan. I used to have I do have like a very kind of fleshed out routine, but um, I think it's really helpful to just like see things very simply. So I created a much, much more concise version of that routine, which just contains, you know, uh, basically making sure I take one step in for each of those goals. Um, so, today, my progress is did a run outside. Normally I do it on the treadmill, but this time I ran outside. Did around I think 3.3 something miles. Uh, you know, quite happy about it. Normally I don't run at that pace outside, but that was my first time. Normally I do it on the treadmill, which helps me, you know, manage that pace, um, but comes with other downsides. One of the things that I want to make sure for future runs is to really focus on form. I definitely thought about it this time, focused on it, but I was so half of my mind was focused on pushing the pace that uh, you know uh, let's just say I could have focused a bit more on the form, because really what's important here is that not only do I take that step, but it's also you know uh, permanent growth. I really want to permanently improve the form, so future runs get better and better and better, right? Exponentially. That's the idea, at least. But I'm very happy about that. Weight went down, which is great. Uh, Yesterday I was, let's see, 177.8. Um, the day before that, can't remember. But anyways, 177.8. Technically, day one, 1.5. Today was one. Looking this up, 176.6. So that's a 1.2 pound difference. And today, eating a bit more than OMAD, one meal a day, but eating strict paleo. Haven't eaten very many carbs. Ate like a little bit of sweet potato chips, like tiny crumbs, which is quite nice actually. And so I feel good about the fitness goal. Definitely took a step forward from yesterday. Um, Now today didn't work on the second goal, but that was pre-planned. That's going to be mainly during the week, but could happen over the weekends. But the third goal, working on my own thing, is I've been working on an app. Still working on that, but at the same time also working on starting an agency. At least thinking about it, and today, that thinking went a step further and turned into action. Saw this request for a proposal from a you know, farm related nonprofit. Um, and that really struck a chord because me and my best friend, you know, created a search engine for farms that deliver during the pandemic. Um, and you know, we researched over, I think, like 5 to 10,000 farms by hand, uh, and really, you know, fell in love with kind of the intricacies of the food system, food quality, farms, uh, also just seeing what's possible with food and growing slash raising, you know, our food. And really, really amazing stuff. Really, really interesting. I mean, food has always been really important to me, because of the way I grew up. You know, it's really important in my family. And yeah, so you know, that really resonated with me. And that's something I'll get into this at the end, but you know, really, yeah, really resonated with me. So decided to pull the trigger. You know, created a just came up with a quick name that was satisfactory to me for the agency. Got the domain, set up an email so that way I could email them from that domain rather than my personal email. You know, just give us a you know, same basic footing as other agencies. Wrote the email, and you know, sent it. So I'm very happy about that. You know, that's been actually, you know, we've you know, I've talked about this, I've thought about this for like doing contracts, doing agency work for, you know, a year at least, but never actually resulted in any kind of emails being sent out. So, you know, not because I didn't want to, but because I wasn't sure if I wanted to do agency work. But this time it worked out. That's great. Excited about that. And I'm proud that, you know, I really focused on taking action, and not getting bogged down in kind of perfecting the details. You know, could have spent a lot of time on the name, not the most important thing, on the domain, not the most important thing, on the email, you know, that was probably the most important thing, but also still was like, let me just get it sent out, do it to the best of my ability, to the point where I'm proud of it. You know, could it be better? I think so, but you know, definitely did a good job. So I'm happy about that. So that's you know, that's progress for the third goal. That's great. I'm excited about that. So you know, some of the thoughts that I had were, I had a couple thoughts, but really the most important one that I really wanted to hit on, that's been really important to me, is like following the fun. You know, for too long, you know, this changed 2 years ago, but for a long time before that, even in the last 2 years, you know, for some goals, come up with a goal, figure out a plan, you know, to achieve that goal, and then try to just stick to that plan perfectly. Didn't really work too well for me, you know. Sometimes it did work, but it would only work for like a few weeks maximum, maybe, before, you know, something got in the way. Now, 2 years ago, I got into Muay Thai very seriously, and that is what taught me to, like, how powerful it is for me to like really follow the fun. So, you know, I was like 200 something pounds. I was like, okay, well, I need to lose weight. So first I was like, okay, let me just do the easiest thing I can do, to lose weight, which was taking a page out of my best friend's book, doing 1 meal a day. You know, so I did 1 meal a day. Actually, I think I even just started doing paleo. Just eat paleo rather than like fast food and junk food all the time, you know, which was like what I was doing. So I went paleo. Okay, lost a few pounds. Great. Really excited about that. I think I went sub 200 for the first time in a while, like 2-3 years. And then, you know, after a week or two, maybe, I was like, okay, let me do OMAD. Let me do 1 meal a day. Then got a few more pounds. I think I lost like maybe 10, 12 pounds by this point. Then I was like, okay, let me do Muay Thai. Let me get back into that. and do it like 3 times a week. Loved it, loved it. Wanted to like really get better at Muay Thai. Loved it. So that's where the fun starts to kick in, especially. But like it was already kicking in with like seeing the momentum of the weight loss. I was like excited to see the number go down, you know, as opposed to number go up, right? Good number go down. And so then went to Muay Thai. Really, really loved it. You know, loved working with my coach, and just was excited to like just wanted to get better. So then I started to do. Then I started to be really strict. You know, stricter and stricter on my diet, which was fun. I didn't like view it as like a chore. It was like I was like I can't wait to like see how much better I'm gonna be tomorrow because I'm being really disciplined today. It was less about being disciplined though. It was more like about being excited for tomorrow or like the next Muay Thai session. During that time period, I just like was actually just looking forward to going back to Muay Thai. So like, you know, over the weekends it was hard because like I would only do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I was like just waiting for Monday to come, right? Anyways, little by little, you know, upped it to 4 times a week, 5 times a week. Then my coach went away one time to the Philippines or to the UK, I can't remember. And, you know, I was here by myself. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll do some running, right? Did that. Then my coach came back, did Muay Thai. And then just like, you know, lost more weight, was getting better at Muay Thai, like feeling stronger and stronger, more confident, more agile. It was like, felt really good. And then, you know, then I started adding running. I was doing Muay Thai and running. At first I was like, I can only do Muay Thai or running. I can't do both because like it's too much. Then I was doing Muay Thai, then running 3 times a week, which then became 4 times a week, which became 5 times a week, and then 6 times a week. Then I started doing weightlifting. So then I was like training 2-3 hours every day or most days. And at the beginning, when I first started, you know, at 200 plus pounds, starting with the first step paleo, I could never have imagined doing, you know, that much training every day. But by the time I got there, it was like I was following the fun the entire time. I was following the natural kind of momentum progression for me. I didn't like push myself. If I had gone from 0 to doing Muay Thai, you know, 1-2 hours a day, then weightlifting, and then running after that in the same day, definitely wouldn't have lasted. But it, you know, because I followed the fun, I truly believe that I was able to do that very consistently. Yeah, so, you know, I think it's really important for me to remember that. It's been a really powerful principle since I kind of discovered that, how well it works for me, as opposed to the alternative style, which I've tried for so long, which was, you know, really build a discipline, you know, from the get-go and like really stick to the plan that you've set out. You know, I think there's a couple problems with that following the fun addresses. One is I think actually following the fun is the best way for me personally to develop discipline. You know, you develop this discipline along the way. And then 2 is it allows for experimentation. If you know, create a plan and then you especially as a perfectionist like me, like you only feel good if you do all the things in your plan, or else it's a failure. You really don't feel good about changing things, because then you're like, oh, did I change it because I just didn't want to do it, or because, you know, like then you're like changing all the time and it doesn't feel good. But that's a natural thing to do. Like that's the way to improve. You need to have room to experiment. And when I say you, I mean like me. I'm just, you know, sharing what works for me. Anyways, you know, so I'm remembering that, you know, really following the fun. And yeah, so, you know, overall it's been a really good day. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.